can start. Okay, I have one thumbs up. Okay, few people here as well. 4 of you are ready. Okay. Okay, great, great. All right. So first of all, let's start with something called as the profile basics. Now, I wanted to pay attention to this part, okay, of our profile. Whenever we are looking at this part, this is your My Network tab, okay? When you're logging into LinkedIn, obviously, let me just show you by logging out and logging in, okay? So when you try to sign out or sign in, you can connect your entire LinkedIn with Google account so that you obviously don't lose anything. Okay. Now, if I'm signing into my account, I already have things saved, but when you sign in for the first time, obviously you'll have to put in your ID and password. Now, I would suggest do not have a very unprofessional email. Okay. The email that you should be using ideally should be something that's very professional. So the first thing that we need to know is how to make a professional email ID. Okay, now very simple rules for professional email ID. Use your name. Okay. Second, use maybe your birthday or birth year. Okay. Or if you are a student, this is not for you, but if you've already graduated, okay, if you've already graduated, then definitely I think you should use your job title. Okay, these are the 3 things that you should definitely have in your professional email, right? Now, if we are looking at uh, most emails, we see something like Suraj the cool dude, okay, okay, or Shiva the destroyer. Things like these don't really work out for LinkedIn for one very simple reason. Whenever you have an email on LinkedIn, although you may not know, and after this session, you will know how to access emails of different people, even though they're not visible on LinkedIn to grow your network. But what you may not know is that people can access your email ID, especially big companies. They can access your email IDs directly so that they don't have to have the hassle of sitting on your LinkedIn and messaging you on your LinkedIn. Okay. Now, when you look at the My Network option, let's say I click on My Network option and I have, okay, luckily enough, I have one new connection that's come up over here. I'm not going to really bother with the name for now. Let me just blank this off for privacy reasons. Okay. But the next part that you see, okay, there are 3 important things. First, obviously, is your name, right? Second one is your display picture. I mean, don't focus on these things. These are just my connections, the number of connections that I have on LinkedIn and all. It's not very big, it's not very small, but yeah, it's substantial. Right. So your name, your display picture, and the third thing that I'd like to bring your attention to is this small part. Okay, this part over here, which we call as the headline. Now, this headline is very important. Okay. Now, let's say that I see the headline as IT student. Okay. Now, obviously, as a teacher, since I know the person who sent me the ID, I would definitely be more than willing to click on this accept button since I know who has sent me that request. But 90% of the times, LinkedIn is not to connect with your first degree connections. What are these first degree connections? First degree connections are people that you already know about. Okay, people that you've already interacted with, that you have searched for. Okay. Usually we use LinkedIn to build our second and third degree connections. Second degree connections are friends of friends. Okay. And third degree connections are random people actually. So we usually use LinkedIn to connect with new people, right? At the end of the day, LinkedIn is just nothing but another social networking site. Now, luckily enough, unlike Instagram, this does not eat up your time. The time you spend here can actually be used for your career. Okay, for your career growth, for building meaningful connections. Okay, I'm certain that when you watch Instagram reels about people dancing or small pranks that are going on, that does not really help your career as such. But on LinkedIn, every post that you go through, every post that you engage with, actually has a potential of giving you some benefit, correct? So the three things that we should be really, really careful about is one, your name. This is number one. Okay. Now, name should be as simple and as legal as possible. Okay. So when I say legal, I mean whatever is there on your 10th standard certificate, I would prefer you keep your name as that. Okay, please avoid keeping names like Suraj the cool dude. No one cares if you're cool or not. Okay, or Killer Kamesh. Okay, things like that don't really fly well with recruiters. Yes. Now, the second thing is your display picture. Any idea what kind of a display picture you should be setting? Guys, please unmute yourself. Feel free to speak. Guys, are you there?
Professional picture.
Yeah, professional picture. Clear face, plain background. Okay, Vibha says clear face and plain background. Okay. Yeah, Spurti says a professional photo. Okay, great, great. Now when we talk about professional photos and all, the must not do's are very simple. Do not have a selfie. Okay. Obviously, please don't take your phone, click a picture like this, and then upload it onto LinkedIn. Okay, that's one thing that you should definitely not do. Okay. Then there are pictures which are very professional, which show a lot of your torso. Okay. They show a lot of your torso, but your face is small, right? So whenever you're uploading on LinkedIn, you can actually see that you have a small grid that pops up. Okay. A small grid like this that pops up. Okay. Now, the preference is that at least this part of your grid has your face in it. Okay. So your face should be clearly visible. Girls, please avoid pictures with too much makeup because you need to look the same outside and on the LinkedIn. Okay. So crazy hairstyles and all, if you are having a bad hair day, please consider not taking a picture on that day. Okay, I know this is funny to think of, but this is actually important. Okay. Now, the most important part in your entire section over here is definitely going to be your headline. Now, when I talk about your headline or this part of your LinkedIn, okay, this headline is what convinces people to actually look at your profile. Okay. Now, things that you should have in your headline are your job function, your specialities, or something that we call in the management terms as the USPs, your unique selling propositions. What is different about you? I would be seeing at least 200 to 300 IT students when I go to different colleges, when I teach different people. I must be seeing at least 200 to 300 IT students. What is special about you that I should be accepting your request? Why should I connect with you? Okay. So you could be an employee, you could be a data scientist somewhere. And most people might just write data scientist at so and so company. Is that enough for me to actually, open this profile, look at that profile and accept it? Okay. So job function, your specialities, and some kind of an X factor CTA. Okay. Something that acts as a hook for me to connect with you. Okay. For example, if you look at my LinkedIn, again, this is something that I've not modified. I've kept it so that you can understand it properly. Okay. So if you're looking at my LinkedIn, I have something like a passionate verbal ability teacher. Okay. So that is something that tells people who I am, that tells people what I am like. Okay. Now, I have my job role or job title as the Chief Marketing Officer at the Gurukul. Now, Gurukul is a CAT coaching institute, CAT, CLAT, and IPMAT coaching institute. Okay, so the USPs again of Gurukul would be that we train only 10 students in a batch. We don't take more than 10 students in a batch. We provide more than 250 to 300 hours of live training. Apart from that, you get recorded classes, you get personal mentorship. Our students can sit here anytime they want. We have a library, a computer lab, everything set up. But putting all that on your headline does not really make sense, because at the end of the day, you are here to personally brand yourself. You're not here to talk about the company. Okay, so your LinkedIn is your personal brand. Are we getting the point? So have something that talks about you, that's personal to you, that deeply resonates with you, and then have your job title. Okay, for example, passionate verbal ability teacher and CMO at the Gurukul. Now, what should people recognize you as? Okay. Now, in my previous role, I was the founder of BrainMage. And when I was the founder of BrainMage, my headline would read board certified psychologist, because that gives credibility to people, right? But in my current role, me telling people that I'm a psychologist does not really make sense. Correct? So I have put something like an educator. Okay. Now, one thing that sets you apart from different people, from other people in the same domain as you, should be what you add next. Okay. So 4 key points. And in my profile, I've added GATE XH psychology, my all India rank. Okay. So when I'm going to teach students, I'm teaching students of engineering domain, I'm teaching students of marketing domain. Okay. One of the exams that they definitely prepare for is the GATE exam, right? So knowing that I have a GATE All India rank myself, yes, would definitely give them a sense of credibility on you. Yes. So your headline should be very, very clear. 4 important points for your headline should be: one, have clear differentiation. Second, your job role. So maybe if you're students, okay, you can have something like passionate developer, or maybe something like AI enthusiast, okay, right? Or if there's some particular technology that you are specializing in, let's say that you want to get into chip design or manufacturing, okay, you could talk about how you are good at Verilog developer, for all the electronics guys. Okay. And then the second part should be a job role. Over here, you could put in something like information technology student or something, not only IT student as your headline, but that should be the second part. Okay. Now, sometimes, and when I say sometimes, I mean almost 80 to 85% of the times, a generic thing like IT student does not stand out. But you could be from a really well-known university or college. Okay. For example, someone could have pursued the computer science engineering at NIT Rourkela or VIT University or IIT Madras. Okay. Or for that matter, Bose Reddy Engineering College, which is very popular in Hyderabad. Okay. So add that along. IT student at Bose Reddy College. On that topic, can you guys quickly tell me, are you a student? Are you a working professional? So that I can make this even more suited for you people. Can you quickly comment in that comment box? Are you a student? Okay, student at BRCW. Okay, Tarun Kumar, where are you a student? Okay, when you're typing student, please tell me where are you a student or which college are you a student of? Okay, Henraj is from GSET. Yes, Gitanjali College is again a very well-known college. GVP Women's is a very well-known college. So add that up, add that up, add that up. Come on, good, good. Now all of you, put on your LinkedIn, open your LinkedIn and start making this up. Go to the headline section. Now, how do you go there? You go to your add profile section. Okay. Now here you see all of these things, but right next to your profile, you have a small, pencil mark. So just click on that pencil mark. Then this whole thing opens up where you can see your name and everything, right? Now, please leave this additional name blank. Okay. Although I know a lot of my students know me as Prady sir, that does not give me the right to just go here and put Prady over here. No, that'll be very unprofessional, right? So please leave that blank. Okay. So keep Pradyumna Sharma, whatever your name is, don't keep Pradyumna Sharma for you. That'll be very weird. Okay. Now, pronouns. In this day and age, pronouns are a very big thing to, consider. Especially most organizational, most progressive organizations at least, pay a lot of attention to the pronouns. Okay. So make sure that you use the right pronouns for your gender. For male, it's he, him. For female, it's she, her. Okay. Yes, obviously, for females, it's she, her. Right. So that way, please ensure that your pronouns are in place. Then this is the place where you write about your headline. Okay. Now, LinkedIn tries to sell you premium every chance it gets. In my opinion, premium is not really required for you to grow on LinkedIn. Okay. Does any one of you have a premium account? Yeah. Did any of your colleges give you a premium LinkedIn access? No, no, no. It's okay. They don't need to. It's a waste of money for college. It's a waste of money for you also. And it's not cheap. The premium account is not cheap. At basically, your premium account and login. All of you are comfortable with Telugu, right? Is there anyone who's not comfortable with Telugu here? Okay, anyway. Right. So anyway, so when you're trying to take premium, right? The first thing that guy will do is ask you to bring your property documents. Okay. Your whole property needs to be transferred onto his name, then he'll give you that premium account. I'm just saying that it's that costly. Okay, I'm not literally saying that he needs to give you your property documents, but yeah, it's a very costly affair. And as a student, I would definitely not recommend you to take up a premium account. Instead, what you can do for getting these AI suggestions as such is go to ChatGPT. All right. So for making your headline really good, we already know the 3 to 4 main pointers that we need to have. So go on to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, hey, I am a student at this particular course. Okay, so let's say this course at this college. Okay, then say my key interests are A, B, C. Okay, now this is where you need to be a little bit smarter. When you're talking about your key interest, please understand that a lot of recruiters would be interested in this column of your key interests, right? So ask ChatGPT, give me 5 interests based on keywords for and include your domain. Let's say you're a computer science engineer who is working on AI. So based on the domain AI, okay, this should be your prompt that you give to the chat GPT. So as I told you, this class is a master class. This is not a basic class where I tell you, okay, this is your headline, change it this way, and I'm not going to leave the class that way. Okay, we're gonna try and make sure that all of you get your LinkedIn ID up and running by today. Okay, so that from tomorrow, I also have an entire week long of content planned for you, as in what should you be posting on LinkedIn, so that 1 week of my hand holding should be enough for you to do it for the next few weeks. Okay, so we start off, we say ChatGPT, I'm a student of so and so college, I'm pursuing so and so course. I need 5 interests based on keywords in my domain. Okay, and then any specializations that you have, any specialities that you have. Okay, so let's say that you have been in a particular club or chapter of your college. Okay, let's say you were a part of the electronics club, or let's say you participated in hackathon and you won second or third. Okay, that needs to come up over here. Yes, are we getting the point? So that needs to come up in this part of your headline. Yes. So let's take 2 minutes. Once you have all done that, please type in your headline in the comment box and then we'll go forward. If there's any doubts, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask me about it. Right? Are we all done? Okay. So I've gotten a few responses. I'll read them out for you. So what if we only won one hackathon, but no certificate, but received cash prize? That's okay. I mean, as far as I understand, no one in your headline will ask you for the certificate. Okay. So when I'm covering the certification section, I'll talk to you about where you can add that. But as far as the headline is concerned, you don't need to worry about that. You can directly put that you've secured so and so position in that hackathon, whatever the hackathon is. For example, if it's a Google Developers Group hackathon, okay, which happened in 2025, you put secured first position at Google Developers Group Hackathon 2025. That way. Okay, Vaishnavi. Pujita says CSE student at Gitanjali College, web development, Python programming, data structures and algorithm, full stack enthusiast. Problem solver. Okay, great, great. Now I have one major issue with this, headline. So Pujita, what should I be contacting you for? Should I be contacting you if I'm interested in web development? Should I be contacting you for Python programming, for data structures and algorithms, or because you're a full stack enthusiast? Now, for full stack, so put that front. If you think that full stack is your forte, that's your strength, put that in the starting. Okay. Look, the point is there's something called as cognitive load, right? Okay, let me just erase all of this from here. Yeah, there's something called as cognitive load. Imagine it this way. You go to a restaurant, okay? In that restaurant, there's a menu, and that menu has 50 varieties of dosa. I'm not kidding. There are like 50 varieties of dosa. Obviously, you'd be confused as to what you should be ordering, right? But that same restaurant now has a simplified menu with only 3 varieties of dosa. You'd be more willing and your choice will get faster. You won't get overwhelmed. It's the same logic with your headline as well. If there are 5 to 10 skills that you're adding, I'll be overwhelmed with, okay, what does she even, have an expertise in? But if you have 2 skills, okay, contact me for full stack development and web development, 2 allied skills, 2 skills that go together. People would know, okay, when I look at Pujita, I can think of web development and full stack development. When I think of full stack development, I should contact Pujita. That kind of a TOMA needs to be created. Okay. What is TOMA? TOMA stands for top of the mind awareness. Okay. For example, if I give you a paper and I ask you to get me a photocopy of it, 90% of us won't even say photocopy. We'll say Xerox, right? I want to get this Xeroxed. But Xerox is the name of the company. Xerox is a not process. The process is photocopying, right? But most of us have already forgotten that photocopy word only. We only know it as Xerox. Even on the shops and all, they might be using a Canon photocopier, but the outside they'll be writing Xerox, right? So that is top of the mind awareness. And that is what we are aiming to create in your headline, right? Are we all clear with this? Now, it's time for the first bonus tip that you might not get in other LinkedIn workshops. When you're uploading your photograph, okay, let's say that you're uploading your photograph, but you're not sure if your photograph is really good or bad or how would people perceive it. There's this app called as Photo Feeler, Photofeeler. Okay, actually, you can even go on to the web and search for Photo Feeler. I'll just show it up for you. Now, what happens on Photo Feeler is that you can upload your photos. Okay, you can check. Let's say I'm testing a photo. Okay, I have to sign in and all, but okay. So let's say that you add a photo over here. You can choose whether you're doing this for dating websites or LinkedIn or what. Okay, so you can basically change it, business, social, dating, such options come up. Okay, now real people like you and me will vote your photo. Okay, and when I say vote, they're not going to give you a medal or something, but they're going to tell you basically how authentic your photo feels. Okay, does the person in the photo have these kind of attributes? Do they look smart? Do they look confident? Do they look trustworthy? Do they look competent? That kind of a thing happens. Okay, so you can always use this. This is a free thing. Okay, so please make sure that you check if your photos are really good or not by uploading it onto Photo Feeler. All right. So are we clear with the profile section? All of us? Guys, yes, no, yes, no. Quick responses, please. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to the next part. Okay. But before we go there, there's something else that you should know. What are the dimensions of your photos that you can keep? Now, this photo that is over here, okay, this is your profile picture. All right. And this profile picture should be 400 pixels into 400 pixels. So you can upload a square image that will be redirected into a circle. Okay. But this part, the part in the red, or let's say the part in the green, this part is what we call as your banner image. Now, banner images, the first thing that I would suggest you not to do is have a banner image exactly as your photo or just your company logo, because that does not tell anything more about you to the people. Okay. Especially if you're looking here, I have another example for you. Things that you shouldn't be doing, kind of. Okay. So let's take this profile. What happened? Right. So let's take this profile. Now, when I go here, there are three mistakes. First things first, the DP is good. Okay, great. The DP is nice. There's a clear face. You can see it. There's a smile. It's trustworthy. Everything is nice. But when we are looking at the headline, it just reflects the job title. Does not tell us much about what they do. Right? So that's one thing that needs to change. Second thing, when you're looking at this part, right over here, you can see that they are of this organization. Correct? So having another entire space dedicated to just showing where you work does not really make sense. I mean, we've just made this profile like this so that we could explain you what's wrong and what's right. Okay, obviously this is not the profile that we have. Okay, this just for example purposes only. Now, this over here, the banner image is prime real estate. Okay, this is the thing that people will be able to look at once they open your profile. Now, 90% of the people who come to your profile after looking at your headline already should know that you work at some place. So again, having the logo and all does not make sense, right? Instead, your banner image should have something that talks about what you do. Okay, your banner image should have something like over here, like this. Okay, verbal ability teacher. For what? For CAT, CLAT, and IPMAT, the courses, and where can you reach them? Okay. Now, as a student, you could also put something that's very trendy, something that's very in line. So if you're having a specialization in AI and ML, yes, put up a banner image that signifies with images something about AI. Okay, maybe a robot picture or something that has to do with, a lot of lines of code, green lines of code on a black background. And in the middle, right in the middle of all of it, yes, right in the middle of all of it should be who you are or what do you do. Because this is the first place the people's eyes go to when they are checking things out. Correct? Are we all clear about this? Yes? No? Yes? No? Okay, great. Now, what are the dimensions of this banner image? The banner image has dimensions of 1128 by 191, 191, and all of these are in pixels, by the way. So this 1128 is nothing but the width, and 191 is nothing but the height. Okay, I'd like for you to please make these notes so that you can immediately go and change these for your own profile. Okay, everyone who would be sending me a connection request by the end of the day, I'd be accepting it. All right. So you don't need to worry about sending me a note saying that, hi, sir, we've met here and all. If you send me a connection today, I understand that you've attended my LinkedIn workshop and I'll be accepting it. And obviously, we'll stay connected for more such workshops that will keep coming in the future. Okay. Now, once you're done with this part, we're almost through the first section called as the profile section. Okay. Now, take 5 minutes, finish this profile section, update your headline on the chat box. If there's any doubts, please feel free to unmute yourself and speak or put it on the chat box. I'll go through the doubts for a minute or so, and then we'll move on to the next section, which is the About Us section. Start. Now, see, some of you might be shy to put your photo up, but it's a social networking site. Okay, if you don't have your photo up there, there's very less chances that people would be interested in your profile. Okay, so make sure that you're putting up a professional photograph. If you don't have a professional photograph, I would suggest invest 50 rupees, go to a photo studio. That guy will take a picture of you, of your headshot, and he'll give you 8 pictures of that. Same passport size kuda ave vadeyochu. You can use the same for passport size photos also. Okay, right. So are we all done with this? Can we move on to the next section? Guys, how many of you are done with that? Can you please type yes in the chat box and type your headline so that we can easily go forward to the next section? What do you mean background images? No, that's what you shouldn't have too many things. Or let's say you have way too many things on your profile. Let's say that you worked for like 5, 6 years. What I would suggest is have a black background. Okay. That black background has 3 or 4 cuts on it, like this. Okay. So here you write domain 1 that you have an expertise in, domain 2, domain 3, and maybe here your organization or anything. So you work at PwC. So you can just put PwC as your logo over here, right? But the whole point is not to overwhelm your viewers. They should have a clear-cut definition of why you are joining or why they should connect with you. Okay, are we clear? Right. Right. So we have Vaishnavi saying aspiring data engineer, SQL expertise. Okay. Uh, strong analytical and problem solving skills. Great, great. So I'll take a little more time to finish after the workshop ends. No, that's completely fine. So if you need more time, please take time. Okay, you guys can all connect with me on my WhatsApp. Yes, if you need any help, I can definitely give you more support after the workshop as well. So that's not an issue at all. Okay, Vibha? Right. So let's quickly move on to the next part, the next section, which is your about section. So when I talk about section, I want you to come down here. Okay. And this part over here will be your add your profile section. So in mine, I've not added anything so far. Okay. So you can clearly see what all is there. You just click over here, go down, go down, go down. You have everything that you need as your contact info and everything. Okay. Now there's one more thing that I want to tell you. If your name is a little complicated, okay, let's say that for some reason, for some reason, um, you don't really know how to pronounce a particular name. Let's say my name, a lot of people get it wrong. Okay. You'll have to download the LinkedIn mobile app. Okay. Come back here so that you can add your pronunciation to the name. Okay. So you can tell people how to pronounce your name. When you do that, what will happen is that right next to your name over here, you will get a small icon, a small sound icon. Okay. And when you click over here, people can hear your name. Okay. So that helps people connect with you on a more personal level. Are we all clear? So maybe take a minute, try to do that, try to get this sorted, and then we'll go forward. We'll go forward to the about section. Okay, are we all done? Right. So now over here, when you look at the about section, you see very clearly that my about section is kind of very different from my headline. Okay. So in my headline, I had passionate, verbal ability, teacher, CMO at so and so. But over here, I start with my job title. Right. So this entire about section basically tells people who you are and why they need to be in touch with you. Okay, so important points about the about section. The total number of characters that you can have is 2600 characters, but only the first 200 characters are visible to people on your profile. Okay, so these 200 characters is what really matters to people. Okay, now obviously 2600 characters can be put forward. But there's one big problem over here. No one, and when I say no one, I really mean no one on LinkedIn. At least 99% of people on LinkedIn do not click on your see more section. Okay. So it's very, very important. Okay. That you're going and you are optimizing this 200 characters limit. Okay. So my about section basically talks about what I like doing, who I am. Okay. It tells my job role. It tells my value proposition. And then if you look at the next part, it talks about my personality traits. Okay. Now, why is that important? Because the kind of audience that I want to grow with is going to be students, parents of the students, and the administrators of colleges. Right? So, as a teacher, that's the kind of audience that I'm targeting. I'm not targeting businesses, right? So, over there, for them to know what kind of a person I am, it's very important for me to highlight things like I'm an empathetic educator, which most of my students would testify with. Okay. Then I want to tell them that I'm a student centered learning advocate. That means I don't want a fixed formula for students to learn. I want to be able to give them what they require to excel. See, obviously, when you are on in this workshop, I'm sure not all of you have same goals, right? Yes. Each of you have your different goals. And it doesn't make sense if I'm just going on blabbering about something when I do not understand what your specific requirements are. Correct? So, as a student centered learner advocate, my first thing that I'm trying to convey people is that, okay, I try and understand what the students want and I teach them accordingly. And that's what the Gurukul stands for, in fact. Okay. So, quickly in the chat box, can you people tell me what is your goal? What is your goal on LinkedIn? Is it to network? Is it to build connections with people? Is it to just have another place to showcase your skills? What is your goal on LinkedIn? Is it your goal to find your first job on LinkedIn, or are you trying to join an MBA college and that's why you need this personal branding session? What is your goal? Come on, quickly. Okay. So Kamesh says his goal is to join an MBA college. Vaishnavi says it's to build network. Vaishnavi, why do you want to build network? If you could just tell me that as well. What about the rest of you? Okay, Vibha says to find the job as a fresher. Okay. Showcase our skills and get a job, says. Okay, Udayashri says that, or an internship for that matter. Yes, on that topic, we do have internships open at the Gurukul as well. I'll be posting that job update soon. So you guys can connect with me and ask me about that. Okay, so Henraj says finding a job on LinkedIn. Pushta says job as a fresher. Great. So if you are targeting job as a fresher, then very clearly your target audience is the HR managers. Correct? You'll be targeting HR managers, the talent and acquisition teams. Those are the kind of people that you should be targeting. Yes. Now, obviously, for that, one clear cut indicator is when you look at this part of a person's profile, okay, there's usually something called as a hiring badge. Okay. So whenever you see a hiring badge, I would say, okay, so whenever you see a hiring badge, I would say start hitting connect on them. Okay, the first rule of connecting with people on LinkedIn is be unabashed. That means do not be shy at all. Hit that connection icon. Okay, hit that icon to connect with people. More likely than not, no matter who you hit connect to, there'll be very few people who won't connect with you, but 99% of people will definitely hit that accept button. Okay, so don't worry at all. If you see that someone is in the same field as you, so let's say that I have this person who has attended Bojredi College. Okay, I have taught at Bojredi College. I wouldn't mind hitting that connection button. Okay, so make sure that you are unabashed in these things. And this is something that I've learned from a book, a good marketing book that I've read. Unless you ask for something, you won't get it. Okay. So may it be on LinkedIn or in network marketing, whenever you're going out and trying to, talk to people, If there's something in your mind, just ask for it. Okay. What's the worst thing that could happen? They'll say, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you with this. That's all, right? Yes. So that's the first thing that you need to understand. Okay. Now, let's quickly go into the about section. Yes. So this is your about section. The first 200 characters, very, very important, as I told you. In the 200 characters, I would say spend at least 50 characters on showcasing yourself. Okay. And then give a white space. So you see this space, this is empty space. The reason why empty spaces are important is because they tell people, okay, this is separate from the next part. It makes the readability easy. If I give you everything condensed as a paragraph, it'll be very hard for people to read and people won't be that interested in reading about you. Yes. Instead, use bullet points, use small lines. Okay. That helps people actually understand why you are putting things out there. Right. So my first 200 characters, I tell them that I combine strategic leadership in marketing with deep commitment to teaching, the two things that I do, the two USPs that I have. Okay. At Gurukul, now I want to draw attention to the institute that I'm, representing, because that's very important for the connections that come to my page. I want them to know that there's this particular institute called as the Gurukul, which gives CAT, CLAT, and IPMAT coaching. Okay. Now, keeping your brand profile active in your about section shows your brand loyalty, makes people, definitely think twice before removing you from a job. All right. Now, keep the Gurukul very, very prominently over there. Keep your brand profile. Okay. And then tell them, what do you do over there? Okay. So your about section also tells people exactly what your functions are. If they have to reach out to you, what are the things that they should be reaching out to you for? Now, if I go further and I show the whole thing, yes, then comes the point where I'm talking about, me giving teaching for entrance exam aspirants, which is not the first thing that I'm doing. First, I'm talking about the personality traits that I have. Okay. First, I'm trying to connect with them emotionally. Yes. Because always remember, your emotional side does not deal with logic. When it is logical, okay, people might have an obstruction. People might think, okay, is this the person that I really want to connect with? But when you're emotionally putting yourself out there, there's a quotient of relatability that comes in. Oh, so this person actually cares about the students. It's not a harm connecting with them. Okay, and obviously you should be that person. I'm not asking you to fake things on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, this is not Instagram where you put in filters, but at least have some professional and emotional bond to connect with your audience. Okay, so when I'm coming down, I'd say that, okay, with a strong foundation in education, teaching experience, exam for entrance aspirants, I believe that education is most effective when it's built on empathy, clarity, and connection. Okay. So most of my students would be able to testify that when they call me or text me, even after our classes, typically I do respond within days. Okay. Then comes down to what is unique about me. All right. And the last part is what we call as the CTA, the call to action. Okay. So CTA, or the call to action, is why should you connect with me? So I have very, very simple thing. Okay. If you're a principal, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, if you're a TPO of some college, okay, no matter who my audience is, they get a very clear message. Let's connect if you're passionate about education, which brings another entire domain of people. Student growth. So if you're a student and you want to grow, you can connect with me. Or building value driven academic programs, which is what principals and all do. Right. So this segment targets the principals. This segment targets the students. And this segment targets anyone who's passionate about education. So if you look at the organization of how the last call to action button is, It is more or less on the level of education and then schools, students. So I'm covering all the three major target audience that I have. Are we all clear about the about section? Guys, yes, no, yes, no? Yes. Okay, that's great. So I'll just give you a few pointers and then I'll leave you to work on your about section for a little while. Okay. So in your about section, I would suggest you make a note of these things. First is your personality traits. This is for emotional marketing. Second, talk about your job or educational experience and what it has taught you. Don't just tell that I have worked so and so. Okay. Tell about what is this job or education teaching you? What are the values it has given you? What is the expertise that it has given you? Okay. That's the second thing. Now, the third thing that I want you to, talk about is your USP. Why you? Basically, why you? And the fourth thing, the last thing is your call to action. Yes, this can get as simple as let's connect if you are interested in so and so. Okay, are we all getting that point? Great. So maybe take 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, maybe take 2 to 3 minutes and then we will be going forward into the next part. So Jaya asks, sir, as a student, can we write about internship experiences in job or educational expertise? Yes, yes, definitely. I mean, I'm not come till your educational experiences part yet, but definitely you can write about internship experiences. In fact, you can also tag people. Okay, so let's say that you have connected with a particular person from your internship. Let's say that your supervisor and you are connections on LinkedIn. You can tag that person, worked with so and so. But do that only if that is your major part of your education. Okay, if that's the only thing that you have on your profile, then do it. Otherwise, this tag is not really a suggestible thing. Okay. Any other doubts, guys? I'm more than open to answering all your questions. So, guys, any other questions that you have about the about section? Okay, can I move forward to the next part? Okay, Vibhas, what kind of emotional marketing terms can be used when we target HRs, sir? Okay, so let's think of it this way. So let's say that you want to target a HR in a particular domain. Okay, let's say that that domain is AI. You could be telling something like bridging the gap between human and artificial intelligence. Okay, something that tells you that, okay, machines are not the ones that are doing all the work, it's humans that are doing it, because more often than not, people like to be recognized for their work. Okay, so if you do some work and someone praises you for it, you're more happier, right? So that's the kind of emotional marketing that I'd like to talk to you about. In fact, I'll just show you one recent piece of emotional marketing that our founder has just shared. Let me just sign out and sign into his post. So again, I'd like to emphasize that this is not his actual profile. We've just done this so that you people understand what are the things that you shouldn't be doing. Um, so if you come down here, you can see the posts that he has put in the activity column. Now, this is one of the beautiful examples of emotional marketing. Okay, can you all see this? So to feed them for donations, all you need to do is swipe your card and the bread gets cut and the bread is given to a person. Okay, so here clearly they say swipe your card to donate €2. Now to free people from child labor and all, there's a rope that's there, which is cut, and that's kind of giving a feel that, okay, you're actually doing something to contribute. Yes. Now, our founder has very clearly written his own story. Okay. Now that resonates with people, right? So this video has been reposted and a small story has been written about it. So that resonates with different people. Yes. So such kind of emotional marketing is also encouraged. Yeah. Okay. So can I move forward to the next part of our workshop? Yes. So before I go to the next part, how many of you are actually listening to me? Can you guys all show me a thumbs up? Those of you who are listening. Okay, I have 4 thumbs up, five, six. Okay, so 6 people, 7 people. Okay, so I have 10 people who are listening to this workshop. Okay, right, right. Chalo, chalo. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's take this up. Now, guys, the next important part is your profile section. Now, when I'm talking about your profile section, this is your profile section. There are 3 parts to it. Okay. The 3 parts are your core, your recommended, and your additional. Now, as far as I am concerned, the core part is the most important. I'll give this 3 stars importance. This should be finished. Definitely should be completed. No choice. You should have all of these ready. Okay. Now, what comes into this section? You have education. Okay. Obviously, my education has already been there. But if I add it again, it'll get changed. So I'm not going to add it. Instead, I'm just going to show it to you down here. Okay, so I have my experience. This is my education. Okay, so I've only so far studied in 2 schools. My bachelor's is from VIT Vellore. Okay, and then my master's is from Geetam Vizag. All right. So in your education, you should have these two for sure. I mean, wherever you have studied. Now, I have chosen not to go beyond this. I have also put, VIT again, but that's something that's redundant. Okay. Now, I have chosen not to go into the depths of, the schooling and all, because let's be quite frank, your recruiters have nothing to do, or they don't want anything to do with your schooling. Okay. Where have you done your schooling is absolutely worthless to them, as long as they know that you've converted a good college like GSET or Bolshoi or GVP Women's in your engineering. Okay. So now in this part, if you're looking at it, it should redirect to your college page so that people know it's authentic. Okay. Now, obviously, when you are redirecting there, you'll definitely have a few mutual connects, right? That shows that, yes, what you have said is not false. And my suggestion is always connect with people who you personally know and who are at really good positions. Okay. For example, if I am talking about my mutual connects over here, yes, she was my professor. He was my research analyst. He was my professor. Okay. This was a senior of mine who is right now working as the chief technology officer in biomedical sciences division. Okay. So I'd rather connect with people who are really into that field. Okay. To show credibility. Yes. The same way, if I'm going to Geetam also, I'll have a lot of connections from here. Okay. But yeah. Wait, what happened? Yeah. So I have 26 connections from here because by the time I came to Geetam, I've learned the value of LinkedIn. Okay. So I connected with really good people from LinkedIn. So if you look at the kind of people, the associate professors, researchers, okay. I have people who are gerontologists, who are like, psychologists. Yes. So most of these people are not students. Yes, so I'm talking about having great connections with other people. So one thing that I'd like for you to do right away is go onto your school page. Okay, search for people. Okay, how do you do that? Let me show it to you. So let's say that I go on to this page. Okay, now I have alumni over here. Okay, go down. There will be people that you know. All right. So for example, over here, Harsha is a friend of mine. I'm not connected with him yet, but you can see that there are 81 other mutual connections. Okay. Because obviously we were all like close in the college. There are like a lot of connections. Go on to his profile and connect. Okay. So if you don't get a connection over here, you can go down. Oh, he has stopped connecting with people. Okay. So there'll be other people that you can actually go. Okay. So over here, you usually get a connect button over here. If not, you go into more, you can see a connection over here, right? Connect with them. Now, when you are going into connecting, this is a part about networking that's very important. LinkedIn by default gives you 5 notes per month without a premium account. Okay. So click on send with a note and then send a connection, right? So if you are, sorry, yeah, add a note over here. So if you're sending without a note, unless they're a personal connect of yours, unless they know you really well, they might not be very open to connecting with you. Are we clear about this? Guys, yes, no, yes, no. So Henraj has already changed his headline and has sent me a connection request. Okay, great. Yes, all of us are clear about this? Okay, so I'll move forward. So So let's go down. This is your experience section. Okay. Now, obviously, when you're talking about experience section, you can see that I've even put in volunteer experiences. Yes, a lot of people think that experience section is only for job, but no. I would say in your experience section, put in your jobs, your internships, your volunteer experiences, okay, all of it. And in your education section, I would ask you to add more than these. I would ask you to add any interesting projects that you've been a part of or clubs and chapters that you've been a part of. Okay. Now, again, for the experience section also, it's very simple logic. You have 2600 characters, but only the first 200 characters and some key skills are the ones that you'll be able to see. Okay. So for example, if you look at my experience section, this is a reverse chronological experience. So I started working with the Gurukul from February. Okay. So you just have to input your dates. I'll actually show it to you. It'll be easy enough for you to follow. So you have, let's say I want to add another experience. Okay. So there are two options, add a position or add a career break. So let's say I want to add a position. So you get all of these and you have to get all of these filled. Okay. Now see, there's this green button over here which says notify network. I would always suggest you to keep this on. This means that every time you share an update about your, job profile, it gets notified to all the people on your network. Yes, and without updates, what are we? Why are we even existing on LinkedIn if we're not updating people about what we're doing? Right. So let's say the title, let's say Chief Marketing Officer. I'm just adding this again. Okay, let's say Marketing Chief. Now enrollment type. Now see over here, you can get all these things. So even if you want to enter an internship, oh, oh, this goes off. Yeah, okay. Okay, no problem. So even if you want to enter an internship, you can enter the internship. If you just as a trainee, you have joined somewhere that you're on a probation or something, you can put that up. You can be a full-time employee, you can be part-time employee. Self-employed is for when you have started, let's say COVID May, you have started a small company of your own where you make handmade greeting cards and you sell to people. Okay, or you started your own YouTube channel. Okay, put that up as well as a self-employed thing. Okay, so right now I'm a full-time employee, so I'm just going to put full-time. Now the company. This part is important, and for this, the company should have a LinkedIn page. Okay, so 99% of the times, your company already has a LinkedIn page ready. In case your company does not have a LinkedIn page ready, you can also make it up and send invites to other people to join it. Okay, although I wouldn't suggest it for very big companies, for small companies, if it's a startup or something, you can take the initiative to do this. Okay, so over here, I'll search for my company. The moment I put obviously, the Gurukul CAT, CLAT, and IPMAT coaching comes up. So I'll put this. And then we go to, I'm currently working this role. You have the start date. Yes. So if you tick this off, I'm currently working, then you also get the end date. Okay. So when did you start? When did you end? But since I'm currently working here, you can get the start date, which will be February, which year? 2025. Okay. Now the location, again, important. Why? Because a lot of people connect with people based on where they are from. Okay. The location type. Now this is kind of your job role type. So are you an on-site employee? Are you a hybrid employee? Hybrid employee is someone who reports to office maybe once or twice a week. Okay. Maybe let's say that you have office only on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and the other days you can work from home. Okay, that would be a hybrid employee. Okay, and then you have remote working personnel. So remote working personals could be people like there's an office which is set up all the way in Bangalore, but you're sitting down in Vishakhapatnam or Hyderabad and you're working. So that is like your remote working. Okay. So for me, it'll be an on-site employee. And then comes the description. Okay. So one important point about the description over here, as you can see, is that you have 2000 characters. Trust me, 2000 characters are a lot. Okay. So what kind of things should you have in your job description? My suggestion is highlight your roles and responsibilities. Okay. Highlight any particular training that you have taken in that internship or any technologies that you've learned in that internship or job. Okay. And then put in quantifiable metrics. All right. Put in quantifiable metrics of your success. Okay. So when I say quantifiable metrics, I mean to say things like resulted in 80% growth of ABC over 6 months. So let's say that you're working on social media. Okay. Initially, you had 100 followers. Now, after 6 months of your work, obviously this is less, but after 6 months of your work, let's say you've reached 1,000 followers. Okay. I would prefer you say did 10x of growth on Instagram. This 10x sounds big. Instead of saying acquired 100 or 1,000 Instagram followers. Okay. So such metrics should be included into your description part. Okay. Now, is this all clear, guys? Can I move forward? Guys, yes, no, yes, no. Quick responses, please. Okay, okay. Fair enough. So would you guys want to do this right now? Would you guys want to change this right now, or would you do this after the workshop and get back to me if you need any help? What do you guys want to do after the workshop? Okay, fair enough. In that case, let me just move on. Now, every single job of yours should have a different profile headline. For example, over here, my profile headline has been passionate verbal ability teacher. In my previous job, it would have been passionate founder of a mental health startup. Okay, for Brain Mage. Right, let me just show. So obviously, I don't want these changes, so I'll just discard it. Okay. Now, this is the description that I have. Okay. So we just started the company and I've taken up its marketing responsibilities. So my description, the first point, if you see, there are a lot of bullet points. Yes. My first point would be that I have initiated the institute's go-to-market strategy. Okay. Now, these are key terminologies that marketing professionals understand. Why did I use it? Obviously, a lay person would not be able to understand that. But if that person has been into administration, okay, specifically my part of the audience who would be MBA students or students interested in MBA or teachers, administrators, networkers, these people would love these kind of terminology. Okay. So always keep your description according to the audience that you're targeting. Okay. Please understand that when you're on LinkedIn, you're not on LinkedIn to satisfy yourself. It is for other people to know who you are. Okay. So your personal preferences, like not adding a DP and all, should not be an hindrance in you networking with people. Okay. Now, so I've designed an integrated marketing campaign, both digital, offline, and referral based. Okay. To attract high quality leads. Again, high quality leads is nothing but students. So this basically means, hey, listen, I've talked to a lot of students and I've run a few ads to help them come to our institute. Okay. Next, we see that I've overseen social media performance marketing and email campaigns. I've created pitch decks, brochures, and all when I'm interacting with schools and colleges. Now, since you guys are all students, there's another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. So, as the Chief Marketing Officer of Gurukul, I'd like to let you know that we are more than open to come to your college and do a session like this for all you students. Okay. Maybe some of your friends are busy today, or some of your friends might have missed it, or some of your friends might be thinking, Arey, Sunday ne nendu కూర్చోవాలి ఇంకో session లోని. Okay. So there's a lot of things that go on into a person's mind, right? So if you'd like a session like this for free in your college, we'd be more than happy to come down to your college and do this. So you can talk to your management and you can just ask them to mail us or ask them to connect with us on LinkedIn. I mean, that's what this workshop's all about. Okay, so if you know someone who'd like a session like this from your college, or maybe you are a leader of a student club or a chapter, if you'd like a guest appearance or guest speaker kind of a thing, we are more than happy to help you students out in that as well. Okay. So for every single job role, you can see that I have written enough about what I have done. Yes. So at BrainMage, which was a mental health company, you can see that I founded and led dynamic mental health company, which was BrainMage. Yes. And what was my focus? My focus was very clear that it was on accessibility and affordability. Okay, why did I write that? Because I needed people to know that we are giving free therapy sessions to students. Okay, there was not a monetary benefit in that. Yes, I wanted people to learn, read my bio and understand that, okay, this is someone that I can approach if I have an issue and I don't have money. I don't need to shell out 1,500, 2,000 on therapists when I can get the same quality for free. Okay, like that, your every part of the brain, every part of your LinkedIn should be something that people get. Okay. So let's look at the third one. So I worked with Humanity as one of their education volunteers. Okay. So as an education volunteer, my job was to go into the route and identify students below 8th grade in orphanages and all, and help them with, their basic communication and English development skills, which is what I've written. Okay. So in professional terminology, you do not use orphanages, you say CCI or child care institutions. Okay. So I've written that I've taught and mentored students from 8th grade to undergraduate third year at different child care institutions. I've helped them with approaching people for jobs. I've helped them with interview training. That's the kind of thing that I've done. And this is a freelance work. So if you look at that column, it's a freelance work. It's not a full-time work at all. Okay. The same way, if you come here, this was a full-time work, right? So it's very important for you to have this distinction when you're talking about internships as well. Okay. So over here, if you see, there's a company called as Lucid Software. Okay. So I worked with this company and I interned at that company, right? So I have put that down as an internship. Yeah. Same way, I interned at the government hospital of mental health or the government hospital for mental care, basically the mental hospital of Vishakhapatnam when I was doing my psychology. So I've listed that as an internship. Okay. So please ensure that you are having the right type of employment details for each of these. Okay. Now, if we move forward in your about section, the one other thing that's really, really important is your licenses and certifications. Okay. A lot of you might have taken up AWS certifications. A lot of you might have taken up CCNA certifications. If you guys are thinking, okay, what kind of a certification should I take up? Please feel free to text me on my mobile number. Okay, 900-373-1060. Okay. You can tell me which branch you're from, what you're currently doing, what your interests are, and I'll suggest certifications to you accordingly. Okay. Now, if you have already gotten these certifications, or maybe you have written something from Swayam, okay, you've gotten a certificate for that, add it to this. For example, if you look at my certifications, most of my certifications are from Coursera. Okay. Now, when you're adding a certification, you obviously have to add your credential URL and your credential ID as well. Without these, your certification is absolutely worthless. Okay. So if someone is giving you a certificate for anything, for example, obviously for this workshop, there's no certificate, but in the future, we will have certificate based workshops as well. Okay. So if there's a certificate based workshop, that certificate based workshop should reflect a URL. It should go back to their website. Okay. For example, if I click on show credential over here, it kind of opens up to my feed. Hey, where's this? It's supposed to open up to the, yeah, okay. So you can go on to Coursera and you can type this ID and it will open up to my certificate that I had. Okay. So that kind of a redirection should happen. If the credential ID is missing, there's no guarantee that you have actually done that. All right. Now, the next important part for you is your skills. And I would say keep as many skills open as possible. Okay. So what are all the things that you have done? Okay. Where did you get that skill? If you just put it up, you can see that there are multiple people. And over the last 2 to 3 years, I'm not really asked anyone for endorsements. I've been extremely busy shifting jobs, taking up my own company. Okay. So in fact, last year, I even created this group called Learn with Prady. It was a community with 300 people or so. And I had told them that, listen, I will try and develop your communication skills. But then after that, I quit my job at YZAG. A lot of differences between me and the other people. So I quit my job at YZAG. I decided that that's not the right place for me. I was moving all along. I recently, till February, March, okay, I was moving, and in April, we were shifting our home and everything. So it's been quite hectic that I couldn't get the time also. So I've not asked even one of those people for an endorsement yet. Because unless you help someone, there's no point in you asking them something in return. But you people, what you could do is after you put these skills up, you could ask people to endorse you. And the people who endorse you, things will show up this way over here. Okay. So for example, let's say that uh, I have experience with communications. There are 4 people who have endorsed me. Okay. So these 4 people are the people who can tell that, yes, we've learned this from Prady sir, and yes, we can tell you that he's good at it. The more endorsements you have, the better credibility that you have for your profile. Okay. Now, apart from that, the last thing that I'd like to speak to you about is recommendations. Okay. Now, obviously, I do not personally ask for recommendations because to me, my goal was never to obtain a job using LinkedIn. My goal was always to network with people using LinkedIn. But if your goal is to, you know, obtain a job using LinkedIn, what you can do is you can do the same thing as Satish and Sri Lakshmi. Okay. I was their teacher and mentor back in 2022 and 2023. Okay. So what they've done is they've asked me for an endorsement and I have given them my recommendation. Okay. So all of you as well, since we know each other personally, I know a lot of names that are over here. Okay. I see Astha Jha, Sanjita Reddy, Kamesh. I see most of you and I know you personally. So what we can do is you can always go here, click on the add button. Okay. And then two options come up. Ask for a recommendation, give a recommendation. Okay. You have to go on to ask for a recommendation. All right. So over here, it'll be what do you want to ask? Okay. Or who do you want to ask? And in the who do you want to ask, you should be looking out for people. For example, let's say I want to ask the CEO of our company to give me a recommendation. So I'll put in his name, Deepak Nemani, brilliant person, very good at quant and LRDI. He is also someone who's equally passionate as me to help students. So you can actually connect with him as well, and you can reach out to the Gurukul page as well. Okay. So I'll continue on this. Okay. So how do you know Deepak? Over here, it'll be that Deepak has managed you directly. Now there are a lot of options. Okay. So if you are asking for your teachers or your professors in the college, you would put this one, Deepak taught you or Deepak mentored you, whatever the name of your professor is. Okay. So for me, he's my managing director. So I'll be Deepak managed you directly. What was the position at the time? These are your positions. These are all the things that I have done. So right now, he's my boss. So I'll put Chief Marketing Officer at the Gurukul. Then you can just type in why he should recommend you. Okay. If you just want to leave this message, let it be like that. I would prefer saying that now there's not a good chance that people will remember you always, right? So I'll write something like, hi, sir. We worked together at the Gurukul. Could you consider giving me, could you please give me a recommendation? Now, instead of stopping over here, I want you to add what you want them to recommend you for. Okay. So I'll add about my marketing skills. Okay. And then boom, hit send. Now all your pending recommendations would come here like this. Okay. So I've sent it to him. I've asked him. I've told him that, hey, listen, this is so and so. And if they want, they can click on this and they can view my profile as well. Okay. Are we all clear about this? Guys, please quick yes, no, yes, no. That's great. Okay, okay. So let's move forward. Now coming to how do we network? So let's say that I want to search for HR managers. I will click on my search bar, HR, okay, recruiters, and I will try and put in a particular industry as well. For example, let's say AI, and I'll just click on send. Now, when this comes up, right, you can see that there are jobs. Actually, there's a job open apparently. So if anyone of you wants, You can actually go onto this and try it out. But yeah, apart from that, you can see that there are a lot of people who post on these kind of, things. Yes. But when you come on to this part, you have people. I would suggest you go directly to people. Okay. Now, there are a few people that you have already connected with, a few people that you have not connected with. Yes. So I would say go to people. Okay. Try to tap on your locations and try to hit whichever city you are liking to work in. So if you say you only want to work in Hyderabad, put Hyderabad. Okay. You can also add another city. Yes. So after you add one city, you have to take all of this off. Then you add another city, let's say Vishakhapatnam. So now you show results. Then you get all these people. They're literally 100 pages. Okay. Start connecting with each of them. All right. That will be the best thing that you can do. For example, I see that Varshni Kajari is a HR recruiter at Rift AI, Right Fit AI. Okay. And I have a few mutual connections with her already. So I would just click on the connect. I wouldn't even think twice before sending this connect. And since I already have mutual connections, I won't want to add a note. If you think that you don't have mutual connections, okay, then please add a note. Okay. Now, before you click on that connect, one additional step that I want you to do is actually go into their profile and check what are they doing. Okay. So here this woman says that she's passionate about, connecting with top talent with great opportunities. Okay. And she works in domains like L&D, employee relations, HR operations, and HR strategy. So that's a good thing. Yes. Now, the second thing that I want you to see is I want you to see their activity. Are they really active? Or is this just an account that's just dormant like that? Because when you connect with people, usually seeing active accounts makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now, you can see that from her activity, she's posted just a week back. So it's not a very dormant account. And she has open jobs. Okay. For content writers, for senior content writers, that way she has open jobs. Okay. And these are all work from office jobs and all. Right? So you can start applying for these jobs directly on LinkedIn. One of the best parts about LinkedIn is that it's one part, it's your digital resume gets ready automatically. Once your LinkedIn profile is complete, in a way, LinkedIn itself makes a profile resume for you. So that's the best part. So using LinkedIn Easy Apply, you can directly apply. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I just connect with people because maybe later on, when a few students of mine ask me, so who do we, talk to? I would say that, okay, I have a connection on LinkedIn. Don't worry. I'll ask them to connect with you. Okay. So that way things get easier. Right. So let's move back into the parts. And now this is my bonus tip for you people. 99% of people do not know this, but you can't get the contact details of people on LinkedIn directly. And if you are messaging them on LinkedIn, okay, let's say I click message and I say hi and all. 99% of the time, LinkedIn stops you from messaging them because you don't have a premium. It wants to sell, sell, sell. Okay, LinkedIn is also a sales engine. What do you do to bypass this? ठीक है, you buy LinkedIn premium and then you type a message and you send it to them. There's no guarantee that they'll respond very, well. For that, what you can do is you can download the Visa extension for Chrome. So Visa is a free Chrome extension. When you download it, you get to see the contact details of these people. Okay, basically their email ID and phone number. Now, guys, please do not call people up. Okay. That's a big no-no. But you can always email them your profile. Okay. And stay in connection. Okay. Because most likely all the top HRs or any working professional, okay, will keep on checking their mails every single day. They're not like students who will just let their mail out. Okay. So this is one bonus tip for you people for attending this workshop, right? So now with that, we're almost covered everything that you should know about LinkedIn. Now the last part is what kind of activities should you have? Okay. So on LinkedIn, I would suggest that in a week, at least post 3 to 4 times, okay, per week. And when I say post, what should you really post about? First things first, if you have not posted anything on LinkedIn yet, I would say just go on to LinkedIn. Okay. So in LinkedIn over here, you'll have start a post. Click on that and say, hi, LinkedIn family. It's good to be here. I am so and so, and your role. Okay. Just do that for today. I'm not even expecting way too much from you. Even this much is enough. Okay. Now, slowly on your LinkedIn, what you should start posting on a regular basis is something that you've learned. What have you learned this week? Okay. Let's say that you're going on the road and you see someone donating a little bit of money to someone else. Okay. Now your own perspective comes into play, right? Take a picture of that, post it on LinkedIn. You'll have photo over here, add that photo over there. Okay. And you can write a small article, something like, it's really nice to give back to the society. Okay. Or is begging a real big problem in India? Something that your unique insights, okay, that you have. If you have read a new book, you can talk about the review to that book. If you have a mini project or a hackathon that you have participated in, okay, tag all the people that you have participated in that hackathon with, tag the company that organized the hackathon. That way you reach more people. So posting at least 3 to 4 times per week, okay, makes you really active on LinkedIn. Yes. And the more active profile always is preferred by LinkedIn to show to other people. Okay. And the more accounts you reach, the more network you build. Now, let's say that you do not have a great idea to post at all. What you could alternately do is repost something. Okay. For example, I don't know what I should be posting today, but our CEO and founder has shared this insightful post. Now, what I can do is read it. If I feel that this resonates with my interests, what I'll do is just repost it. Okay. I'll add my own thoughts and I'll repost it. Okay. Very simple thing is great thought. It's a must read. Okay. I'll just say something like this. Now, obviously, I don't want to make any grammar mistake over here. So it is a must read. Okay. And I'll just say post. That also shows up on your activity bar. Now, let's say that also you cannot do because you don't find any post so entertaining or challenging. Go down, go down, go down. Okay. You see that there's someone who has said that they have aced The bookscapes, okay, it was the best year at the pen pal program. Go comment. Okay, just say congratulations. Okay, and comment. That's also okay. All right. So there are many ways for you to engage on LinkedIn. Doing any of this would actually help you boost your network. All right, guys. So are we all clear with all this? Yes. Okay. So how many of you feel that you've learned something important today? All right. Those of you who feel that you've learned something important, just type TG in the comment box. Come on. Obviously, branding. TG stands for the Gurukul. Yes. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. That's great. That's great. So let's do this. Let's connect again over a week or so. Okay. Now I have one last question to ask you before I go, and I have one last tip to give you. Always remember, no matter which social networking site we are talking about, all social networking sites work on the same principle of SEO, which is search engine optimization. Okay. So no matter whatever you're posting, whatever you're writing in your education, internships, anywhere, okay, ensure that these have keywords included in them. Okay. So if you have your keywords included in the content, it would be recognized as an organic content. And organic and relatable content is more prone to grow on all social networking sites. Okay. So on LinkedIn, I have somewhere around 2,700, if I'm not wrong. How many? Hmm. So on LinkedIn, I have somewhere around close to 2,500 for connections. On Instagram, I have close to somewhere around 2,150 connections. If you have not yet connected with me on LinkedIn or on Instagram, please do connect. On Instagram, I am on the Instagram with the name parody.sharma. Okay. I majorly talk about law, I talk about English, and I talk about career development. Okay. If you're not connected with our company email ID yet or company Instagram yet, please do connect with us at the Gurukul MBA Prep so that you keep getting to know about workshops like this for free and you can attend and learn things for free. Okay. Now, the simple thing is treat your LinkedIn as your search engine optimization agent. Keep all the keywords ready. Okay. Use ChatGPT if you are having a confusion as to what prompt you should give ChatGPT. Feel free to text me. Okay. I'll be able to help you with that. Okay. There are a lot of other idiots who tell that if you don't learn ChatGPT, if you don't have these skills, you'll be obsolete. Your job will go away. Pay 9 rupees. No, that is all shit. Okay. ChatGPT and all is a simple thing. It's basic English. Okay. Prompt engineering is not a course. So please don't fall for shitty marketing tactics like this and make them rich. Okay. Instead, you can get all this for free once you connect with us. Okay. So it's very, very simple. You just have to text us and ask us, sir, this is the issue. What do I do? Okay. All the three of us, the three founders at the Gurukul, okay. Me, Deepak sir. Okay. You can connect with Deepak sir on LinkedIn at Deepak Nemani. And you can connect with our third founder as well. Okay. His name is Chaitanya Saripaka. All the three of us are very passionate mentors. Okay. So we can we would not mind guiding you for free. Instead, you don't need to pay money and waste your time. All right. So that's pretty much all for today. Now, for the last question of the day. As students, what other workshops would you be interested in so that we could help you better? If you have anything in your mind, please let us know. What we were thinking of was career guidance and book review sessions. Okay, so this is what we were thinking of. Okay, great, great. Thank you for that. Yes, career guidance focused on internships, resume building. We've done a workshop on resume building a little while ago. How many of you would be interested to have another workshop on resume building, same like this? Okay, fair enough. So in that case, let's do one thing. All of you, please do connect with us on our company Instagram ID so that you keep getting to know about what are the workshops that keep coming up. The ID is the Gurukul MBA Prep. Okay. So again, within 2 weeks, we'll come up with another, workshop. Okay, guys. All right, then. Thank you so much for your time and patience. I hope this was helpful to you. Please do connect with us. We will get in touch with you and we'll keep informing you about what's coming soon. Bye bye. Sure, Rishita. We will conduct another workshop again on resume building. Not an issue at all. In fact, if any of you would like us to come to your college and conduct it, you can just talk to us. We'd be more than happy to come to your college and conduct it as well. Bye. Thank you.